In today's strategy building block series, we're going to go over something that I've recently discovered playing around with the Keltner Channel indicator. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So today we're going to talk about one of the indicators that I kind of use frequently, and I've been kind of playing around with it, trying some different things out, and I came across something interesting that I discovered just tweaking this indicator. Now I use the Keltner channel with my normal setup, but I don't use it this way frequently, right? So this is something that I've been recently testing, and I came across a pretty interesting discovery with this. So let me just stop all the setup and let's just get right into it. All right, so the way I'm gonna set this up, like I said before, I'm only gonna show you I'm in TradingView right now, and I'm only gonna do this I'm only gonna show the Keltner channel because I only want to focus on the Keltner channel. Now, depending on your personal preference, you can throw some other things in there, mix it up, mix in some order flow or another indicator or however you want to do it, right? So this is just one piece of the puzzle, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in a fresh Keltner channel. All right, so I'm going to show it here in TradingView first, and then we're going to switch over to Sierra chart, and we're going to look at the difference. There's a slight difference in between what you can do and how you can tweak it between different platforms. So I'm just going to show you these two examples, one with TradingView and then one with Sierra chart, and then you can take it from there, right? All right, so now we got our Keltner channel up here, and let me go ahead and just do some quick little tweaks to it to get it, and the way I did that, if if you're not familiar with TradingView, I just double clicked on the indicator. You can also just real quick, you got the indicators that are on your chart, you have them over here, and you can go and make adjustments there, right? So just to keep it all nice and simple and organized, let me just double click on it. And the way I like to set it up, I don't like the background. I'm just gonna hide the background, and then if I want to change these colors, I keep them all the same, but you can tweak it however you want to tweak it, right? So let me just play around with this a little bit. I'm just going to make this one let me do a line, see what we got in here. Well, what I wanted to do is like a dash line. I don't see the dash. Or if I do a circles. All right, there we go. We'll just do the circles. I'm just, I didn't even do this with the other one. I'm just kind of getting fancy with it. All right, so, and I'm going to change the colors a little bit, just so that it stands out just a little more. And as a matter of fact, just to make it all nice and pretty, because I'm feeling creative, I'm gonna go ahead and make that white. All right, so enough of that, enough of the aesthetics. This is basically how I have my aesthetics. Normally I don't even do all of that. I just keep everything the same. And the way I normally use it is I hide these upper and lower bands, and I just keep this mid band or this basis on the charts that I can see, and I don't pay attention to the upper and lower bands. All right, but for this, we're gonna use the upper and the lower band. All right, so now here's what we get. Here's where things get interesting. All right, so I was playing around with these numbers, and so for this, we're gonna go with a multiplier of 1, and then a multiplier of, and this is I'm using a 3-minute chart right now. This is dynamic, so it's gonna vary based on whatever time frame that you're on. So we're gonna go with the length, we're going to go with 256. Right. All right, so now as I'm making this video, I just realized that just recently they've had to update this study, right? I don't know when they did this update, but I didn't have all these options in here before, and this is something that I've over the past couple of days, literally over the past couple of days, even yesterday I was playing around with some of these settings, and I didn't have all these settings in here. So for this one, what we're gonna do, we're gonna include the gaps, right? And I'm gonna go off the charts time frame just for this, as I was planning on doing this. And I'm gonna use the close for this one. This is just the setup that I like. Now you can play around with these. For me, what's most important for me, like what I've seen before, like just play around with this. You know, there's a lot of different ways to look at it, but this is just something interesting that I've noticed. This number here, this 256, that's like for me the most important part. And you have your multiplier. I'm going to keep that at 1. You have the sources at close, and I'm going to use the exponential moving average, right? The band type is going to be a true range, which that is different. And let's see, with an ATR, let's see what that does. Actually, we want average true range, so it's a little bit more smooth. And I'm gonna do my ATR at 8. All right, so another multiplier that we can use just to make things interesting is 2.4. Right, so that opens it up a little bit. So it depends, it just depends on what you want. This multiplier, the one I showed before, is 1. Right, so that you see we closed it up a little bit, and I got my ATR length at 8. Right, so this is interesting. I'm gonna show you why. We're gonna see why in a minute with these additional settings in here once I go over the Sierra chart, because before I could only like tweak it this much in Sierra chart, and now interestingly I can do all these different things here in TradingView. So you know, that's really cool. So I apologize if this is not as organized as I had planned it to be for this part. Nothing should change with how I'm going to show it with Sierra chart. So now we can see, you know, how price responds to this area, or to this study. This is on the 3-minute. So let's say if I just, you know, scroll back, and you can see we can, you know, just do a little bit of back testing, and you can make it mean, you know, you can see what it means for you based on however you like to trade. But you know, what I'm seeing is we get some pretty interesting price responses. Usually, nothing is 100%. Usually you get a pretty interesting price response, you know, once it comes back to the Keltner channel with these settings, right? So that's that one. Now I'm gonna show one more. I'm not gonna just leave you with the one. Let's just play around with it a little bit more. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to duplicate it. I'm gonna hit the Control V to paste after I copied it. And the only thing I'm gonna change right here is I'm gonna change that 256 to 512, right? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the colors. Let's just say for this one, I wanna go with this red. I don't know, just picked a random color. Doesn't mean anything. I just picked red, that's all. All right. Yep, that's good enough for me. Yep, we can stick with that. And see, now you kind of have like this little cloud effect, right? You can actually change this to where it actually looks like a cloud if you want to. I'll let you play with that to figure out how you want to change the style of it. But you know, I just wanted to, you know, these numbers right here stuck out interesting to me. Another number you can look at is 128, and you know, I'm just gonna let you play with it from here, all right? Because I don't want to make this video super long, so you can see what, you know, kind of results we get with it so far, right? So let's go ahead and switch over to Sierra chart, and let's set this thing up the same way. I'm gonna get away from these bars and just use regular, good old-fashioned candlestick bars. Good old-fashioned. And for this one, we're gonna look at this one on the 15-minute. Let me go ahead, and since that looks so crazy from one of my other videos, let me just see what I want to do here. Go into studies. Let's just hide this for a minute. And that's good enough. And let's look for the Keltner channel. I'm going to add that to the end. Let's go and add 2 of them. Let me hide this other one until I'm ready to use it. All right, so let's go ahead and set this up again. I'm just going to use this blue here. That's the average. So on the other one, I'm kind of set it up the same. We're gonna do that right there. Hit OK. Go to the top. I like to make these, this is my personal preference, I like to make them the same color, because what I'm going to use this for is like a cloud. I'm not going to use it, you know, like you may have seen it used before. I'm just going to use this like as a cloud, and that's just how we're going to set this one up. Let me use a dash here. All right, and so for this top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to transparent, fill bottom, and for the bottom I'm going to go to transparent, fill top. Right now I forgot this one, this transparency levels for fill style, we're going to go to 90. And again, you can play with this however you want. So we see we got 90 there, and now let's go into our inputs, into our settings. Now for this one, I like to keep it on OHLC average, right? The open, high, low, close average. If you're not used to Sierra chart, similar to like, so for close in Sierra chart, like how you have close in TradingView, it'll be last, right? So last is the same thing. It's pretty much synonymous with close, but for me, I'm just going to go with OHLC average, and then we're going to put our Keltner moving average length in there, which this is where we're going to put the 256. And then for my ATR here, I'm going to go ahead and put 8. And then so 1.6 has, you know, that gave me some interesting results. That one, I kind of like that one too. But for this one, I'm going to use 2.4. And then for the bottom band multiplier, I'm going to use 2.4 as well, right? Now, I'm going to keep everything as it is. I want to keep everything as it is over here. You can use simple. I'll show you what it looks like, the difference. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply, and so now we can see our cloud, and we can see it over there. And so I'm not gonna, you know, do the whole back study thing here. You can back study and back test it, you know, yourself. You know, I'm not gonna walk you through all of that, but so you can see the results here and how you can kind of make a cloud out of the Keltner channels. Now, if you want to see what this looks like with the exponential moving average, and there's a lot of other choices in here, so you can, you know, play around with them and see what you like the best. This is what it looks like with exponential. You see it just kind of shifts it a little bit, because, you know, exponential is typically more detailed into, you know, how the calculation of the algorithm, right, or the formula. So it's gonna change it a little bit, but for me personally, I like the simple moving average in Sierra chart. That's just my personal preference over here for Sierra chart versus TradingView. Again, like, it's not always going to be the same for every single platform, so you just play around with your platform and make it make sense to you, right? And that's all we're going to change here. So for the other one, let's go ahead and make 2 more. And I'm just going to do these real quick. I'm just going to duplicate. And this one is going to be 512. So I'm not going to change anything else other than the colors. I'm going to make this red up here. Right. And then I'm going to add one more, just so we can see what we want to see, just to play with it. Oops. It's the wrong one. And for this one, I'm going to make this one this yellow. And just randomly picking numbers. That's all I'm doing. I'm just randomly picking numbers. The numbers don't mean anything for me. I mean, the numbers. I'm just randomly picking colors. These colors don't really mean anything for me. That's, you know, I'm just, you know, picking some random colors here. And we're going to go with 128 for this one. Not 120 slash, but 128. All right, and I'm gonna keep everything else the same. And there we go. So now you have this funky little cloud, little indicator that you created for yourself. And, you know, you can just play around with it and see, you know, what makes sense to you. It's actually really interesting. Or you can, you know, just do the regular, you know, if that don't make you feel, that don't give you warm and fuzzies, you don't like the way that looks, You can also go back in here and go into your studies, and let's just change these to lines, or change it to it. There's a lot of options in here, so play with it and see what you like. All right, go back to this one and change this one to lines. All right, that's good enough. That's good enough for this. All right, so now you got that also as well. So just, you know, you can play with it. The most important discovery for me with these Keltner channels, and you know, with me playing with it lately, is this the moving average length, that number, this number here, right? You can I've also played around with the true range average number and the multiplier. You get subtle differences, but for me, the most important numbers with the Keltner moving average number, or the Keltner moving average length, which is 128, 256, and 512. All right, so one more thing I want to mention real quick before I close this video up is, maybe you're asking, all right, so I see you're using this with, you're a futures trader, but what about with other things like stocks and whatnot? So let's go ahead and look at that as well. And actually, we're going to start with, let's see if I got any. Let's start with crypto, since I have some crypto up here. Let's look at Bitcoin, and we're going to zoom out for this one. I'm going to use a 30-minute. Let's just look at 30-minute for the cryptocurrencies, and you can see that's I'm already seeing some interesting things in terms of looking at Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin. Let's look at XR. Let's look at ETH. ETH is kind of popping right now. Pretty much the same thing. All right, so we can. This is study worthy. I'm not saying it, you know, this, I'm not saying to use this for a singular, you know, strategy alone by itself. I'm not even saying to use this for a strategy or anything like that. I'm just, you know, pointing this out. This is something that could be, that you could find some value in looking at. It can mean whatever it means to you. All right. So that's ETH, right? Let's just go, let's look at a stock. Let me look at everybody's favorite right now, Tesla. Let's see what it does with Tesla. All right, so this is on a 30-minute, and that is very interesting to me. If you ask me personally, very interesting. All right, let's see. Keep on looking around. Let's try to go back kind of far on the bullish side of the game. Okay. Of course, this is going to be sponsored by Hindsight Capital. I don't know why it stopped. This is just from a 30-minute perspective. Let's just go. We're trying to swing trade this. Let's look at a daily perspective. Let's see what we can see. All right. And just for funds, that is interesting. That is interesting for sure from a daily perspective. Let me just go in here real quick. Look at this 256 one. And let's just take this time frame. Let's just take it to a 4-hour on the daily chart. Okay. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying nothing. Whatever, however that looks to you, that's how it looks to you. I don't even want to try to, you know what I mean? So, yep, we got that there. And let's just keep that up like it is. And yeah, let's see another fun one. What's a fun one to look at? Oh, how about an IPO? Let's go and look at Roblox. All right, you typically are not going to have that much data for an IPO. So, you know, you can take it, whatever it means. It's probably not going to be that effective because this is a lagging indicator. It's based completely off of historical information. It's, you know, it runs that through the formula, historical information through the formula, and then it spits out, you know, what it spits out, right? All right, so let's look at MTZ, another one that I kind of like to follow. Okay. I can personally see some you know, valuable information here, but I'm going to keep that to myself, and I'm going to make it, you know, let you decide what it means to you. All right. I actually wanted to see, do I have any Forex up here? And then let's look at an ETF since we're since we're here, while we're here, let's look at GLD. I think that's a good one to look at right now. Okay, okay, I see what we're doing. This is all right. Interesting for sure, in my personal opinion. Okay, what else we got? Let me try to find a some forex. Everybody's favorite, Euro USD. Let's see here. Not extremely, and we know on the Euro USD we typically like to look at the 4 hour. A lot of analysis that I've seen has been done on the 4 hour. One of the let's just take it all the way down to a 5 minute. Now that's gonna look funky up there because I still got that blue one, the 256. I have that one on a 4 hour time frame. So yeah, that's still pretty interesting. So let's one more. Let's just get a 30 minute. Let's see what a 30 minute, how that looks. All right, let's just go ahead and one more thing. I do this all the time. This is what I do a lot. I just keep playing with stuff and see what I can see. This is how I go through stuff. This is how I learn how to tweak indicators to where it makes the most sense to me and I get the most value out of it for me personally. All right, that's a very interesting reaction there. All right, so I think that's enough. I think we went through enough of examples. I would highly encourage, if you find this interesting, to go ahead and do some examples on your own. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you found this valuable, if you found something useful in this, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. If you've also played with the Keltner channel, and if you have anything you'd like to share, something interesting that you'd like to share, also go ahead and leave that in the comment section below. Hit the like button and all that good stuff, and I will see y'all on the next one. Trade it easy.